Have you ever caught yourself labeling someone as difficult, too much, so logical, or emotionally unavailable and filed them away in that box? Or has someone done that to you maybe? Today, I want to talk to you about the duality factor. And this is something that changed a lot for me in the way that I show up in my relationships. The truth is that every single one of us carries both strengths and blind spots, brilliance and struggle, light and shadow. And learning to see people as whole humans instead of one-dimensional characters can radically shift our relationships with others and ourselves. So it's not just about treating other people with compassion. You will see that as you do this, you will learn to treat yourself with more compassion as well. So let's dig a little deeper into that. We live in a world that loves shortcuts, fast opinions, quick judgments, simple labels. We like to label everything and we need to put it in its place. I think about, just even in our home, in our kitchen, we want to label every box. But humans, we're not simple. We can't just be labeled. Someone can be incredibly confident at work and deeply insecure in love. Someone can be generous with everyone else and harsh with themselves. Someone could be highly intuitive but struggle with structure or follow through. Some people can be logical, grounded, and reliable, and emotionally overwhelmed on the inside. Duality is not a flaw. It is just a feature of being human. There are two sides to us. There are multiple facets to us. The problem begins when we start seeing people and ourselves only through one lens. Strengths and blind spots live together. Here's something I want to really help you land. Your greatest strengths often sit next to your biggest blind spots. The leader who moves fast may struggle with patience. The empath who feels deeply may struggle with boundaries. The visionary who dreams big may struggle with details. The peacemaker may struggle with speaking their truth. None of this makes them bad or wrong. It just makes us human. And when we forget this, we do two things. We judge others harshly for their blind spots and we shame ourselves for ours, right? And neither creates growth. And here at the Warrior Mindset, we're all about growth. We're all about facing our truth. We're all about getting real with ourselves. So, this is kind of the work I do when I work with people one-on-one in my coaching or in my group sessions. And it's so cathartic to start seeing yourself from this perspective. Think about how we can move from judgment to compassion, right? When you start seeing people as both and instead of either or, something powerful happens. Instead of saying they're selfish, it becomes they're very driven and they may struggle with the awareness of others' needs. Instead of I'm bad at this, it becomes this is an area that I'm still learning, even though I'm strong in other ways. This shift doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it humanizes it. Compassion doesn't mean tolerating misalignment. It means responding with clarity instead of cruelty. When you see people as whole, you stop expecting them to be perfect. You communicate more clearly instead of resentfully. You set boundaries without needing to villainize yourself or others. You allow room for growth, yours and theirs. And here's the beautiful part. When you start offering this kind of compassion outward, you often receive it inward. People start to feel safer with you. Conversations soften, defensiveness drops, and connection deepens. Because everyone wants to be seen, not just for their flaws, but for their full humanity. Now let's bring this home. Where in your life are you being one-dimensional with yourself? Where are you defining yourself by one mistake, one struggle, one blind spot, one role you haven't mastered yet? What if instead you said, I am capable and still learning. I am strong and allowed to need support. I can hold confidence and uncertainty at the same time. This is the warrior's work, not perfection, but integration. I want to leave you with a little reflection for today. Think of someone in your life who challenges you. Ask yourself, what might be their strength and their blind spot? What would compassion look like without abandoning your boundaries? And then offer yourself the same question, right? Because when you learn to honor duality, you don't just become more compassionate, you become more free, you become more creative in the way that you deal with difficult people, and you detach from the outcome because now you see them as another human, as another soul who is also struggling, right? The more we see people as whole, the less we harden our heart. ourselves. The more we accept duality, the less we fight reality. And the more compassion we practice, the more aligned our lives begin to feel. That's the warrior mindset. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who might need a reminder that they don't have to be one way to be worthy. And if you need help understanding this at a deeper level, let's talk and see if we can, get to the core of what your feelings are.